You thought you'd never see me again, didn't you? Well, too bad! I'm alive.
Indeed, that is right. The dark powers above and below have now forced me to talk about another thing in Train Simulator that has happened recently. Specifically, the frame rate dropping like a stone. This bloody thing. The FLIRT has now been released in Train Simulator, which I normally wouldn't bother making a video about. I mean, I didn't talk about the postal wagon thing released, or the Mark Vs, or the MP3, because I didn't care. But I was sort of interested with the FLIRT in Train Simulator. I'd be interested in messing around with it, just once in a while, because I barely play Train Simulator nowadays because NIMBY Rails exists. And what am I going to do? Play a game that takes 2 minutes to load, crashes every single 5 seconds, and has toaster frame rates? Or am I going to play a game that takes 5 seconds to load and has only crashed twice in 3,000 hours? No question whatsoever. No brainer. But the things going on with the FLIRT and like the backstory and just overall everything about this, I am just shocked and disgusted, and we need to talk about it. Now, if you don't want to watch my entire video, that's okay. In the comment section below, the pinned comment will have a brief TLDR review and TLDR sort of backstory regarding this train. So you can read that, and then you can sort off and go watch rugby or something, I don't know. But let's continue with this sort of review-ish thing of the train. Firstly, let's talk about the price. £40, $37.99 to be exact. I will provide some conversion rates into other currencies that are, common for my viewers here. That price is simply, no, unacceptable. For what you get, that is just, no. Way too much for the player base. Way too much full stop. Because all you get is just the 745. You do get the Stansted Express variant, which is over there, we'll look at in a bit. But you just get the 745. Everybody is kind of interested in using the 755, but that's not here. I guess you'll have to pay another 40 quid for that. Now, some people may say, Daniel, does it really matter? I mean, as long as the train is good. But, well, the thing is that has a limit, and the 745 in Train Simulator is very unviable, because you only have one full route you can use this on, and even then, that's assuming you have the workshop version of the route. If you have the GEML, like you can get off Steam, you can only go as far as London to Ipswich. There is a West Anglia mainline route, I think, for the workshop, but that doesn't go anywhere further than Cheshunt. As in Stansted to Cheshunt, I think. And even then, that's just pathetic. You can't really do the whole route. Wouldn't really expect much on the workshop. And some people will say, well, that's enough. Okay, well done. You've increased the viability from one route to 1.5 routes. Wow. 40 quid, please. To add, the GEML on Steam is extremely out of date. It was released in 2013, my apologies. So, yeah, that was quite a while ago. Oh, but Daniel, that's what the Gemma mod is for. Oh yes, the Gemma, ATS Gemma, whatever you want to call it, which is like a modern day fix-up for the GEML route. Nice! Well, ignore the fact that there are no 345s or 720s in Train Simulator, but okay, no worries. Hold on a second, that's behind a paywall! And the paywall requires even more DLC, well, specifically, this mod requires even more DLC to function. And I've done the calculations here, and if I've done them correctly, in order to utilise this one train on this one route, you will need to spend, including the cost for the 745 as well, you'll need to spend, in total, as nearest makes no difference, £200. £196 was the total exact number if you're curious, but holy crap, that's just for one train and one route. And even if you get Gemma, you still can't go to Norwich. You're still stuck at Ipswich. Of course, I guess that's what phase 2 is for. Duh. Oh my goodness, that's terrible. Wow, it's almost like they're trying to price everybody out of the game and make piracy the only viable option. Oh, they wouldn't be wanting to do that. No. Goodness me. Regarding the price, people have made various memes, including the garlic bread meme, and yeah, that's funny, but it also brings up a point, like, especially because there's no 755 involved, why would you spend £40 on a train that has this little viability? Garlic bread is so viable. Put it in a party, everybody who isn't a celiac or a vampire is guaranteed to eat it. Who doesn't love garlic bread? It's more expensive than Freedom Planet 2, a game that has 4 playable characters, great music, loads of replayability, and modding support. You know, the things that this doesn't have. It's ridiculously expensive. Does the money come from the modelling? Well, I mean, the modelling it's alright. The textures are alright. Some of them look a bit weird. And obviously the frame rate, oh my goodness, the performance also issues are just complete garbage as well. Just, it lags like nothing else. And you might say I'm cheating because I got the 90 in the background, but even if we go to this one here, look, it's still not, the frame rate's still not that much better. I mean, okay, actually it's gone up a little bit. But it's still really bad. And yeah, my computer isn't the best at this either, but oh goodness, it's just so bad. Maybe the interior modelling is what makes this make up for it, which, again, it's sort of like okay from a distance. The interior modelling, I mean, it's there. You can see the toilet. The toilet's there, doesn't have any doors, because, you know, the door went on strike after Paper Mario the 1000-Year Door got leaked, which it hasn't. Yeah, it's sort of okay, but not £40 worth, modelling wise and texture wise. Oh, I forgot to say, the font on the displays here is pretty accurate. Well done on that. So yeah, cool. I'd say it looks good from a distance. Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah, it looks good from a distance. What about, let's take a look at the buffet area at least then. Well, you know, oh wait, oh dear. I think the buffet car has gone on strike. Oh, what is, damn you buffet cars going on strike, you and your tricks. Ugh, dummies. And first class uses the same seat texture, even though I thought the seats were a little bit different, but, you know, £40, this is what it gets you, ladies and gentlemen. A train that looks okay. And that's the thing, it's okay. If this costed like $11.99, no one would probably bat an eyelid. Or at least just go, you know, it's alright. Could be better, but also at least it's not that expensive. But it isn't. To continue on with the price, over here we have the Class 90, which for entertainment purposes is the Deutsche Bahn Class 90. Say hello to the viewers, Class 90. Bleep blop bleep boop boop, I'm a Class 90, please help. I'm being held at crew against my will and not being used because Deutsche Bahn are a dumb company and don't know how to use electric trains. Please help me. The God who made me is cruel. The God who owns me is cruel. The God who owns me is cruel. Just get away from him. Okay, so the point I was trying to make here is, you know, humour aside, the 90, I think, is an overpriced train in Train Simulator as well. Because if you want the full 90 experience, and let's say you just don't care about any other train but the Class 90, you effectively have to buy 4 pieces of DLC. You have to get the Class 90 and DVT pack, then the GEML Class 90, then the Freightliner Class 90, and then the Mark III coaches. Again, very anti-consumer and honestly just unnecessary. But even here, if you just want to recreate this one consist here with the DBS 90, even this consists with, and the DVT at the rear, or front, whatever you want to call it. Even this consist here still costs less than the FLIRT. This would only cost you £33 versus this is 37, 38, whatever you want to... Ugh. Honestly ridiculous. It's also insulting, honestly, because they're treating people as if they're coin blocks in Mario rather than human beings. We're in a day and age where more people than ever in the UK, like, we're talking millions of people are having to rely on food banks. Then this bloody thing comes up and says, yeah, we want to offer you a train with about as much viability as a maglev for £40, please. Why are you looking at me like that? Let's have a quick pause to talk about the atrocious marketing behind this add-on. The trailer was so poorly edited that it's almost embarrassing. I have edited stuff more competently when I was about 9 or 10 years old and I was using something called Photo Story 3. There are no transitions, there are no wipes, the shots are poorly done. The gameplay footage of the 745 in this trailer feels like it was played on a toaster, recorded with fraps, and edited using a microwave oven. There is simply no excuse for a trailer this bad. It even cuts off abruptly towards the end, almost as if the team was like, we gotta release this now. But sir, don't you want to look at the file? No, release it! Now, 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 now! And, well, this is the result, people. Someone in the comment section also pointed this out. The marketing for this trailer is genuinely shocking. The choppy video suggests to me that the performance is poor, which is just shambolic when you're showing off a new piece of content that is £40. I agree. To which Alan Thomson responds by going, the video is not the best, I will 100% agree, but it's about getting the point across. Plenty of videos to come, and I'm currently live streaming it if you're interested. Which is kind of funny to read that in the future, but what point are you trying to get across here? A point that you need a NASA computer to run this? The point that your editing team have less money to work with than the National Railway budget for Wales? Or maybe that you don't care about this product? That's the implications I get from this trailer, because it's that bad. I'm under the assumption that you want to sell this to people, you know, to make money, so why would you make the product look bad on purpose? It's almost like Mr. Allen and his team have no idea of the importance of marketing and advertising. It's a big industry that companies will spend millions, if not billions in, for a reason. They want to make us see a product. They want to show it's better than the rest. They want to incentivize people to buy it. You're not doing that, so it fails in that aspect. Even the product page is pretty bad as well. It's bloated and could really do with a second draft just to remove the repetitiveness and unnecessary filler words. I'll read you a few of my favourite bits. These have been designed and built to be study level additions to the simulator and offer the best immersion possible. The build process was assisted and supervised by real-life train drivers who drive the units in reality, as opposed to those real-life train drivers who drive trains in the Matrix. And we have done everything possible to recreate them as true to life as we can. This comes together as a whole package with many never-before-seen features that provides a new study level of immersion to players wanting to experience a staple of the East and modern traction at its best within Train Simulator. Never-before-seen features, eh? Well, let's take a look at what these features are. Passenger information system with working announcements? Seen that with the U-Bahn Frankfurt. Automatic warning system in isolation? Seen that with many Armstrong Power add-ons. TPWS? Seen that. GSMR? Seen that. Driver's vigilance? Seen that. DRA? Seen that. Automatic speed limiter? Find me a German train that doesn't have that. Cold and warm starts available? Come on, the original Pacer had that. The original! From 2012. Working automatic selective door operation. Oh, you mean the feature that the 700 enhancement pack technically has. In fact, when you think about it, every train in Train Simulator has selective door operation because of how the game works with the doors and opening and stuff, so yeah, not impressed. Now, to give credit where credit is due, I did see one feature listed that I haven't seen in Train Simulator before, which was the automatic operation of the wipers. Because whenever it rains in Train Simulator, I find it really, really difficult to just do this. But let's not knock it, it's a selling point, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Now, they mention a few things that you can do on the TCMS display thing, and maybe that's what they're talking about when it comes to brand new features that I've never seen before. But honestly, some of those things are just things I wouldn't really care about, or things that would be there anyway. How many people are playing Train Simulator and say, yeah, I really want to know if someone's on the bog or not? Really? Come on, man. The point I'm trying to make out here is that this page is not doing a very good job at trying to sell an add-on to me. Again, it feels very bloated, repetitive, and most of the things it's advertising I've seen before. You gotta do better than this if you know, want to sell this. Especially if it's a £40 add-on that has very limited viability. Even in terms of fictional scenarios, there's not many fictional Anglia routes, so bleh. And look how much I've been complaining about this train, and we haven't even driven it yet! So, let's get down to driving we'll use the Stansted one over there. Just before we drive the FLIRT, there are two things I want to mention that I forgot to say. The first is that it includes an AI variant which has less sort of, I wouldn't even say model detail because it looked exactly the same, but most likely all the features have been scrubbed off so you can chuck a bunch of them in the sidings and it won't nom all the RAM. That's a good feature that every intensive train simulator should have. Okay, one good thing. The second good thing, which I quite like, and I only noticed this when I was doing my test recording, is the horn. So, pay very close attention to the horn, depending on which way the camera is facing. So, here's the horn from this way. Now, in the opposite direction. Bit hard to tell, but I'll show you again by holding the horn, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I think there was a little bit of a Doppler effect there, which I found kind of cool. I don't think I've noticed that in Train Simulator. So, well done. Now, as we're in the cab here, as you can see, it's sort of, it's alright. Its modelling it's okay. I haven't seen the cab of an IRL FLIRT UK, or at least I don't remember seeing one, so I'll just have to politely nod at this. You can open the doors here. There we go. Oh, hang on. I will not be defeated by a door. There we go. And you can do the same on the other side, which I'm not even going to do that again. Stop that. So, my sort of question marks with the FLIRT start happening when you're driving it. Well, when you're starting it up. So, in a lot of Armstrong Powell's content, for example, you would press Shift W to turn the master key on and then do everything from there. But with this one, you have to press Control W to put the master key in, which, hang on, and then Shift W. Like, why is that necessary? Why not just press Shift and W like everybody else does it? It's almost like they're just trying to be different.
And AWS operational.
And I just find that really unnecessary. Then you have to log in to the TMS thing, so you press OK. And here we have like a login screen, so if you've used the Class 175 Enhance and Pack, you'll recognise the kind of concept here. You can't press the numbers here to put it in because reasons. You have to use the touchpad, the touch screen I should say. Now, it doesn't really matter what number you put in because there's no specific set of numbers, unlike reality. It's pretty much any 5-digit number, and being this is an Alan Thomson Sim product, there's only one combination we can use. Oh, and then you press login. Then you have to release the spring brake, which utilizes Windows Vista, so talk amongst yourselves. There we go, the spring brake has now taken a hike. You can then deactivate the DRA. And you could drive. Well, that's what people would do. However, you now need to, turn on, well, adjust the sort of speed set thing. Now, It's not the normal combinations that most of the German community will remember, which is Y and C. It's F. That's fine, I guess. So we'll set our speed in this case to 100 miles an hour because that's the line speed. I can't be bothered to be anything creative. It's gonna flash, and if you don't do anything, it'll reset. So you have to press Control F to confirm that's the speed that you want. Again, just why not just scroll up like it is? I'll accept that that's not the case in reality, but if you want to go down that road, it takes several months, to, if not a year, to train up a real train driver. So why not have the loading times take 6 months onwards? See what I mean? You can cut a few corners here and there in exchange for player convenience. Oh, and the combination for the, what's it called? The guard, to drive the guard bezel, which is normally N or C, doesn't work. The button does exist here, but I guess, they couldn't be bothered to map that to any of the buttons. Work in progress, I guess, Alright, so now we're pretty much ready to drive. Let's quickly look in the passenger view whilst we're here. Here's the passenger view on the Stansted Express version. It's alright, I guess, though. Oh, there's a void here! Didn't know the SCP Foundation were making their references known here. Very nice. You got multiple views, which is nice. Let's take a look at the multiple views in the cab. I didn't check them. Fair enough. Alright then. Well, we can now drive and go full Eggman. However, I want to at least showcase the motor sounds from the exterior because they did a crap job in their trailer showcasing it. So I'll try my best to show you what the motors sound like. Here it goes. So, yeah, it's a little bit out of, bit off, let's just say that. It's a little bit off. I also want to bring to your attention that I actually turned off the DSD whilst we were driving there, but this doesn't have any visual aids or visual alarms because reasons. Everything from the Armstrong Powerhouse has that, but this doesn't because I guess this is for a study level product. You don't need player conveniences. What are you, insane? Well, oh, hang on. What I should do, another thing they didn't showcase is what the train sounds like passing at speed. So, let's see if we can do this properly, without getting too much lag. I'll put the camera up here. It sounds a little bit off compared to IRL, especially for a £40 add-on. Here's a video I've recorded of a FLIRT passing at speed, just so you can compare for yourself. And here's what it sounds like from the passenger view at top speed. Again, sort of alright, but not £40 impress, OMG, are gonna fall over from the epicness sounds. Oh, I just noticed, hang on a second, does it track your mileage? Does it? Oh yeah, it tracks your mileage. Hang on, I thought I turned off the DSD. Oh, for goodness sake. Ugh, dumbass game. And this is where things stop becoming funny, because during the production of this video, I got in contact with somebody who worked on the ATS 745, and they have given me some, frankly, disgusting information of what happened behind the scenes and how they were treated. To ensure anonymity, I will refer to him as Spectre for the video. Now let's continue. During the production of the 745, Spectre wasn't exactly being respected by Alan and his cronies. Spectre described working with ATS as financially unsustainable. I was in talks about possibly leaving once the 745 and 755 had been completed, hopefully on amicable terms. But no. Mr. Allen locked out Spectre from the reference material for the project, which completely prevented him from working. Spectre informed me that after he was talking about potentially leaving after the 745 project, the remaining 2 weeks up until then was relatively fine. So getting locked out of the reference files was a massive shock, and a serious inconvenience. When this was brought up to Alan, he denied any wrongdoing, clearly with the intent of causing a rift between his own contracted workers. ATS then demanded money or that they'll sue them for breach of contract, but was not expecting Spectre to simply say, no, let's take it to court then. This resulted in the FLIRT taking unnecessarily longer than it had to, because now there had to be a court case settled in small claims court. During the legal threat, Spectre had to go to hospital and received the summon to court whilst he was still there. During the court case, Mr. Allen and his cronies did absolutely everything to ensure that this would go as smoothly as possible. Just kidding. They would do things such as submitting the evidence at the last possible minute, including on a bank holiday. Even the judge was fed up with how late the evidence was being submitted. And eventually he ruled in Spectre's favour, showing that they were actually in breach of contract. Whoops! The result of this almost killed Spectre's interest in working in train simulator projects, as well as untold physical and mental stress on himself. And just to top it all off, the guy Alan hired to be his lawyer spent the rest of the time after the trial insulting and trying to target people on Twitter. That'll show who's boss! Keep in mind, people, the information I'm giving out here is only just a smattering of the things that happen behind the scenes, because I was given so much information from Spectre that it was almost overwhelming. I've been forced to condense it here for both privacy and brevity, but goodness me, it's just, I haven't been this disgusted by something that happened in Train Simulator since the situation when one of the mods on their team from Alan Thomson Sim pasted someone's face they didn't like onto porn. And that's the thing here. Where's the professionalism within ATS? I'm not seeing it. The people who are working with them are not seeing it. And the multiple things they've done over the years have basically been the complete opposite of professionalism. And I'm not trying to stamp on your face and say, oh, no fun allowed here when you're working. No, not at all. You're allowed to have fun. I had fun whilst I was working on the film set. But one, that's still no excuse to not have a professional demeanour, and two, how are you any different from a sociopath or a bully? When Spectre was telling me about all the things going on with ATS and how it was affecting him, I was spotting the manipulative tactics that were being used by Alan and his cronies. The exact kind of tactics used by abusive partners in unhealthy relationships. Over the years, we've seen ATS try and use court threats on me, my friends, and here a worker, and when they end up going to court, it ends up becoming, as I mentioned in my top 10 video, a time, money, and resource sink. Because Alan doesn't treat the UK courts as a method to receive justice. He treats it like a year 6 student would treat their teacher. Miss, this guy doesn't like me. Miss, this guy threw a rubber at me. Get him expelled. May I ask you, is this really the sign of somebody you want to associate with? Someone who should have some degree of authority or power in Train Simulator? Really? I wouldn't want somebody this narcissistic and abusive in any kind of power, let alone in Train Simulator. Yes, viewers, I do think it's narcissistic to name a product installer and game launcher that you didn't even make after yourself. Coupled with Alan hiring people who are much younger and thus haven't had the necessary experience of what the workplace is like, kids and teens alike will be fooled into thinking that this kind of behaviour is the norm in working environments, and it isn't. This is not acceptable. If your workplace is abusing you and treating you like a complete doormat, you need to stand up for yourself and speak up as soon as possible. Don't leave it for months or years or whatever. Tell someone you trust. Please, a friend, a family member, get a second opinion, because you don't have to stand for this. At the end of the day, Train Simulator is a comfort video game, like Animal Crossing. Okay, sure, we're not trying to grow a town, but there's something fun about driving trains. Maybe you just want a couple hours away from the kids. Maybe you've done all your homework and you got a lot of time to spare on the computer. Maybe it's fun to express your creativity in wacky ways, railway related. Maybe you just enjoy the sound and the look of certain trains. Whatever your reason for playing the game, that's cool, but it shouldn't have to come at the expense of blatant workplace bullying behind closed doors that is going on in ATS. Maybe this is happening with other ones as well. We'll never know unless people speak up about it and put a stop to it now. In the unlikely event that Alan or his cronies are watching this, hello, here's some free advice for you. If you want to act like a complete child, throwing a tantrum whenever things don't go your way, instead of being able to talk it out and communicate like an adult, fine. But don't do it in the workplace, do it in the playground. And whilst you're at it, take this P45 with you. And give us a ring every Monday about how we're mean for not giving you a reference. Because sooner or later, the cold hand of reality will smack you in the face, and it will hurt. To quote what Spectre told me, in the 21 years of his employment, working for ATS was the only employment mistake that he has made. And I'd like to thank him once more for his time and getting in contact with me about all of this. I respect you so much for opening up towards me, and I want to wish you the best for your future, regardless of if it's in Train Simulator or not, because the way you were treated by ATS here was just unacceptable in any aspect. If you're understandably upset regarding the FLIRT, that this is just ludicrously expensive and bleh out of 10, and you don't want to give Alan £1, let alone 40, I don't blame you, but there is a sort of massive air quotes alternative you can use that is still technically a FLIRT 4, all the way over here. Oh, would you look at that? From our mates from the Swiss side of the Train Sim community, it's the Traverso FLIRT. Say hello to the viewers, Traverso FLIRT. Oh, bonjour, mein Hablos. I am a Swiss train with a legitimate Swiss accent. Well done, Spide, I'll never notice that. So, this is only £22, and it has ETCS, which is actually kind of nice. The interior is honestly modelled much better than the 745. I mean, the toilet has a door, for example, so you look at that, that's cool. You got people on board, and one of my favourite things I didn't notice until I was doing the behind, like, preparation for this video. If you look here, there's a nice little the cups for the vending machine in the little buffet area. They're actually 3D modelled. See, look. Oh, that's so cute. And if we look on the other bistro on the other coach, someone's actually using them. Oh, I love that kind of detail. It's really good. Now, yes, this is a bit of a gauge-breaking train if you run it on the UK, but, you know, a FLIRT is a FLIRT. And maybe you could beg somebody to put this into greater angular livery and no one will be none the wiser. Even if it is 8 coaches long, not 12. As for the other FLIRTs, stuff them. Stuff this overpriced add-on. Stuff the Class 90 whilst we're here. Not so much because it being a bad train, more so because of the stupid pricing here. Stuff the Stansted Express one. In fact, let's just say, and let's give this train a punishment. I banished this train 1,000 years in Chelmsford, and for the Stansted Express one, because I absolutely hate riding the Stansted Express, or just the Stansted Express in the concept, because it's not even an express route. I know exactly what to do with this. Give me a second. Take that, you lagging piece of crap! Get out of here! Ban the sick filth!